Hey, it's David Guetta. We just finished an amazing interview with Zach Sang, and you need to see it. That was dope. Thank you, Zach.
Hello, beautiful human. We are about to get to know the legend David Guetta, but first, I got some news to share with you. Our show is now going to be delivered to you by GoPuff. This is a big deal for me because GoPuff is my favorite delivery service ever. They literally deliver my life. That's like, I'm not joking. That's not an exaggeration. If you know me, you know that 1 or 2 GoPuff bags follow me wherever I go. It's literally documented in the New York Times. Okay? This is not a joke. So when I tell you that GoPuff is your answer to all deliveries, I'm not kidding. They offer thousands of items in one place. Snacks, food, alcohol, home goods. I get candles from them all the time. Electronics. If you need a charger, they got you. Instantly. They will always show up to your home, to your studio. I've had a GoPuff delivery driver meet me with an energy drink, toothpaste, and a toothbrush on a street corner in Georgia. They always show up, and they always deliver. So why not try them out? They're really the best. Wherever you are, GoPuff will come to you. Try them out. I'll hook you up. $10 off your first 2 orders right now. Just use Zach10 and the code in the description to download GoPuff and start shopping today. Try it out, okay, please? And let me know what you think. Zach10. You'll save $10 off your first 2 orders. Like, why not? You're going to order stuff anyway, right? Why not save money? Use the code. Use the link below. Now here's David Guetta. Not every day that we get like actual icons, legends, genuinely like people who have shaped an entire genre. So it's
Oh, wow.
It's true.
I like the starting of the show.
Hello, beautiful human. My name is Zach. That is Dan, and we welcome to the studio for the first time ever, David Guetta.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, really, truly, like when I say you've shaped and really helped pave and craft an entire genre, do you see that as accurate?
Well, I don't really think about it, but if you say so, I'm glad you see it that way. I let's say, for sure, I was one of the people that built the house, but I also, think of people that were before me that influenced me. And I think that's what's amazing with music is that we all build something and it becomes like this huge thing. And when we look at it, we're like, oh my God, it became so big, but I didn't think, oh, we're going to create this huge movement. It was just like, okay, I was influenced by people like Frankie Knuckles, and David Morales and Eric Morillo and those people. And then, I added, my touch in it, and then, supported people like Swedish House Mafia, and then there was Avicii, and it's like we all built something, and at the end, it's true that when you step back, you're like, wow, that's crazy. But you don't really think about it,
But is that a part of the continued success? Is that you so don't think about what's behind you, you just focus on what's in front?
2,000%. Oh, but like so much. I only think of the future. My problem is I don't even think of the present. You know? So that's sometimes a little bit challenging for people with me, because when we have a number 1 record, I'm like, okay, whatever, stop wasting time. What is the next one? And it's sometimes it's good to celebrate and enjoy the present too. I'm trying to learn this, but it doesn't come natural.
But so what drives the want for the future and for what's ahead? Is it to be ahead of your peers? Is it a
Not
want?
really.
Is it a want to taste make?
No, really, I'm not in that. That's interesting as a question. It's a really good question. I never really cared about any of this. I never really cared about, being credible, being cool. I was always saying, I'm not trying to be credible. I'm trying to be incredible. So, I don't really, it's not this thing. It's more like most of all, I'm a DJ. And, it's very simple. Like, everyone plays, like, usually I start to play something, and then, you were mentioning, moments that were like defining moments in my career. I don't know, like when I started to work with like big urban people and mix it with electronic, or working with Sia, or things like this, going indie pop, and like then everyone started to do more or less the same. Then I get completely tired of this, which is my own sound, and I get tired of it myself.
Are you getting tired of it because you hear it around from other people?
Exactly, of course, because then it's everywhere. Then you play a festival and everyone plays exactly the same style, and you're like, oh my God, I just can't. So I had this, for example, like right before COVID, I was like, I just can't keep playing this EDM sound. Like, I'm tired of it. And then I came with Future Rave, but it was not like, oh, I'm trying to impress other DJs, or I'm trying to, be forward thinking. I'm just trying to create something that I want to play, because when I'm tired of what's trendy, I need to, if someone would do it instead of me, that would be better. I wouldn't have to do it. But this is really more like a selfish approach of like, I want to have fun when I perform. My entire life is organized. My entire life is organized around my performance. So it's like, I don't go to dinners before my shows. I want to rest the day of my show. I want to be in a good mood before my show. I want to make music that I can play in my show. So this is my life. So in the same way, when I create music, my only motivation is, it's gonna feel so amazing when I'm gonna play this beat for the first time. And there's nothing that makes me happier than what's happening with I'm Good right now. It's crazy. Like it was like that moment where I turn off the music for the first time when I'm DJing, and everyone is singing the words. That is, for me, the ultimate happiness. So this is what my life is about, and this is what drives me to create new styles.
And be ahead. You're literally like outrunning yourself, essentially.
Exactly, but it's not a competition with other people. Really, it's not. I promise you, it's not. I always support everyone. I actually, it is like, sometimes I had conversation with DJs here in America, because the hip hop culture being so strong in America, some DJs were a little bit like creating clashes, and like, when I'm a little bit old school, and when we started this, house music was so a subgenre. It was so, we were such underdogs that we were like doing the opposite. We were supporting each other so that we look a little bit bigger than what we were actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
totally.
we had to compete, with rock and with hip hop, and we're like, okay, let's create a community that we were pretending to be bigger than we were. We were actually playing in clubs, and but then at some point that music crossed over, and I kept that spirit of like, okay, we're not competitors, we a family. We like, so sometimes when I see clashes, I really don't like it. I don't even understand it. This is, to me, like, my culture. I come from house. It's about spreading love. It's about freedom. It's about tolerance. It's about being together, forgetting your social barriers. Your if you're gay, if you're straight, like that was the whole point of that music. So when it became so big, and some people started to get on the train and bring that negative vibe, I really didn't like it. And every time there's something like this, I just disappear. I never answer,
Good.
because to me this is not part of what we are.
By the way, like you've building that community and camaraderie, like you were creating a genre from nothing. Like you essentially had to recruit people to make this music with you and then support them. To your point, like
that's absolutely true.
In order to have like real cultural impact, like no one person can do it on their own genuinely. Like you can spark a fire, but you still got to make sure that fire burns.
Absolutely. And this is how I see it.
That's pretty incredible. What do you learn performing at the Broad Club in Paris that you that you actually still utilize today when you get up there?
Well, there's like a big difference, and it's funny because like I was the other day I met with a very old friend of mine. His name is Laurent Garnier. He's like a techno legend, and we were talking about this on how we used to play 8-10 hours a day, 6 days a week, and we would have one day off, and how sometimes it's funny because like we would be playing in a club and we're 5 minutes late and the DJ before us just stopped the music, and we're like, this is insane. Like, and the guy would say, no, I finished my set. I don't have any more music. And I'm like, what? So it's just, you're talking about what I've learned. So it was more, what I've learned is to take people on the journey and not say, because right now, basically DJs become famous by being producers, which is totally okay with me. And by, let's say, defining a style. And the difference, let's say, with like a older generation like me, we were all about musical culture. And because we were playing so many hours, we would go from, disco to funk to new wave to reggae to,
Because you had to.
Well, of course, because, at the time, I played the first house music party in France, like on a regular basis, and I had to be my own promoter because no club owner would let me play this music because this music is completely ridiculous and crazy, doesn't make any sense, so I was like, okay, like give me your worst day of the week, I'll promote it, I'll make the flyers myself, you don't need to pay me more, just allow me to play what I want. Because same, you need to put into perspective that we look at DJs in a certain way now, but it wasn't like this before. The DJ was just another employee of the club, like a bartender or
no celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. There was no famous DJ when I started. The concept did not even exist. So yeah, and this is how I started. And I think what I've learned is just how important musical culture is. So this is why I keep like reinventing myself, because I can go look at the success of I'm Good right now. I just went back 20 years. And it's not really that complicated,
Is there a formula that, like, okay, one, I do want to know, when you're DJing for 10 hours, is your goal to keep people there for 10 hours, or? Oh yeah,
that's like me on a boxing ring. Yeah, like I'm not letting anyone get out of the club. Really. And like the way I was judged when I started was that way. Like, okay, if you were a good DJ, if at 6 a.m. the club was still packed, and you were a bad DJ if at 3:30 the club is empty. So now the approach is a little bit different. It's like, okay, I am an artist. I'm here to make a statement. This is who I am. If you don't like, me, okay, too bad. So my approach, at the same time, I'm trying to play things that people cannot hear outside of my show, including my own music, but because I only play special versions that I do for live. But at the same time, I still have that resident DJ mentality that I want to give people a good time.
It's people first.
Exactly.
They dictate, like, that energy in that room.
Exactly.
Like you read it, but then you also have to amplify theirs by heightening it.
So basically, the difference between a good night and a bad night for me is when they follow me on that journey, I won. I had a good night. If I have to follow them, it means I didn't do a good job. I'm just another DJ. It happens, But then I do my job. But when I managed to, what I loved this summer in Ibiza was unbelievable. Because, underground is being played in probably 85% of the nights, maybe 90. And then you have like people are playing more commercial. And I never looked at music that way. Me, I just love music. For me, that concept of commercial on underground, whatever, it's completely meaningless. And in Ibiza, I would play the most underground, obscure beat and put like the biggest song on the top, and it works. And this is what I enjoy. It's like, I can take you anywhere. And when it's magic, when people are feeling like one, when it's just this huge flow of energy, then they just open.
There's nothing like that.
That is what I live for.
Do you feel like you have the right strategic approach that you apply to every show to at least it may not happen every time, but to at least come out with the best odds of success?
Exactly. That's what it is.
You figured it out.
Yeah, of course. I've been doing this my entire life. I started when I was 14, so
that's pretty sick. Honestly, you mentioned your love, just your pure, genuine love for music. You're Nothing But the Best commentary album is superb, and I love a commentary album, so it was fucking awesome. It was just very cool.
Thank you.
What makes Ibiza so special? Like, why is it so fun to play there?
It's exactly what I was telling you. There's a huge underground culture. So, like, how can I say? Because the only comparable for America would be Vegas, I suppose. Mm-hmm. And I play Vegas. It's a lot of fun. But, Vegas, you need to always go back to kind of a pop hit in a way. So basically, if you're like a basic DJ, you're gonna play what everyone plays, and if you're a little more famous DJ, you're gonna create. That's what I do. I would take like famous songs and produce an entire new beat around it, so that the experience is unique. But I would still have to always give them something they know, because they go see the best magician in the world, and then they go see the best DJ in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people that go to Ibiza, they've been like clubbing for many years. They really into underground music, and it's just that culture and what I was telling you, that I'm established enough that they give me the trust, and they're gonna go anywhere I go. Mm-hmm. And and every set is different. If one day I just feel like, okay, I just want to feel good, and I'm just going to play those huge songs and everyone is going to sing along too. And one day, maybe, I don't know, it's just a vibe. I want to take them on a hypnotic journey and play just like...
and you can.
And I can.
Yeah.
So that freedom, it's crazy, because it doesn't feel like work. It's just like, okay, whatever you're going to give us, we in.
So where do you test music? Where's the right place to get a feel for the way the public could react to something? Because
honestly, that's anywhere.
I'm good you played for a while before it came out.
No, what's that story is completely insane. I don't even know if you know the story. So the story of I'm Good was, we were, sometimes I do writing camps, and, I just go to the studio with songwriters and work on different ideas.
Do you come with beats to those situations?
Sometimes I come with beats. Sometimes we just go from chords, and I play like from nothing. Yeah. Because that's another topic, but what really matters to write good songs is the music. So you can actually write any song with a guitar or a piano. You don't really need that's like a rookie mistake. You come like super produced beats, and actually that is not helping the artist, because you kind of putting them in a corner and they feel like they have to speak about the dance floor and stuff like this. And so I prefer to look at songwriting from just a purely fundamental, basic, and write like the Beatles would write, and then make it electronic.
It keeps the integrity of the story, but also like any song, like if it's a good song, you can take everything away.
Exactly.
And it will still make you fucking feel.
Exactly. And that's my approach. You exactly. And this is how you make timeless music, because otherwise it's just going to be because, it's trendy to put a reverb on the bass. Oh, wow, crazy. Okay, but does that mean that this song is going to be timeless? No, of course not. The song is the song. So in the case of I'm Good, we were just jamming, and I was like, you remember that song, Blue? It was just so crazy, and the chords are so good, and Bibi got excited, and we just did it just for fun, and then she's like, I'm not sure, I don't know, and Urban was so big, I think everyone got a little bit nervous at this time, and then the label, all of this, and then I was like, I don't know, I like it, I'm gonna play it, and I tested it in a few festivals, and one of them, was recorded. And some people, I don't even know who, and I want to thank them if they can hear us, some people sampled my set and used it as a sound on TikTok. And then it became viral, but the record was not released. And then Bibi called me, and she's like, Guetta. This is how she goes, Guetta, you know what's happening? I'm like, no, I don't know what's happening. The song is everywhere. It's everywhere. You need to finish it like now. And so I got like super stressed, because I made that song 4 years ago. So I'm like, she's like, you have 2 weeks, no more. So, okay, so finish the song. Then, I was like, okay, this is crossing over so pop. So usually I would do the mix myself or with people of my team. And then I was like, okay, I want to take like the best mixer, so I'm sending it to the guy. I'm like, listen, I'm going to bed. When I wake up, and the guy normally takes 1 month because he's like a superstar, So he's like, I'm telling him, like, please, I'm begging you, you need to do it. When I wake up, it needs to be done. You have 8 hours. So I go to sleep. I had to deliver the record, the same day, and it was all like this, Then he made this genius radio mix. Then we released the record. Then I played the record in my show, and I realized his mix is amazing for radio, but doesn't work for the show. And then I'm like, I call my label. I'm like, guys, I need to do a new mix, but you need to replace everything that, the extended version on every Spotify, Apple Music, all of this, they're like, oh my God, you're crazy. This is the music, this is how it is. All the best records are like this. When I did Sexy Chick, or can we say Sexy Bitch?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. When I did Sexy Bitch, my album was finished, and it was the time of the CDs, and they all were already pressing.
Jesus.
So I'm calling the label, and I'm like, listen guys, I met Akon yesterday at a festival. We wrote the biggest record in the evening. We have to put it on the album. They're like, no way, David. It's already in the factory. I'm like, I don't care. You need to cancel everything. I'm telling you, this is the biggest record. So we did, and we're right to do it. But same, panic, yeah.
I mean, with a little stress, everything hits a little bit different, Once you accomplish it, it just feels that much sweeter. But have you had other songs like Good that just sit for years and then still have like relevancy today?
Yeah, actually there was, what's most of the good songs, we make them in 2 hours, and the ones that you struggle with are the ones that are not good enough. Because if you need to overproduce the song, this is coming back to what we were saying. If it's not good enough when you play, chords on the piano
It's not
and the
good.
song, then it means that, the song is weak. So you need to use, tricks to make it sound cool. But there are a few exceptions, yes. And for example, this song with Nicki Minaj, Hey Mama, actually was also with Bebe Rexha, which it's a crazy story too. I had a song for 2 years, and it was impossible for me to finish it because in my head I thought the sample was the hook, and it was just good but not good enough. And one day I'm in the studio writing camp, and so sometimes we take different rooms, and I was working in Studio A, and I'm going to the restroom, and the door was open, and I heard this incredible voice, and it was Bebe Rexha. That was not an artist yet.
Yeah.
She was a songwriter, and I knocked the door. I'm like, "Can I come in?" And I was like, "Wow, you sound amazing." I said, "Look, I have this song that I'm struggling with. I feel like you could be perfect." I gave her the song with an empty space for a new hook that I made specially for her. And in 15 minutes, she had the hook. And so it took me 2 years to find the key to finish this song. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And this is how she went from being a songwriter to an artist, and how we started to work together.
So was Nicki already on the record and it was just sitting for 2 years, or does Nicki come after BB?
No. Nicki came after BB, but the kind of the whole concept was
Tied
there.
together.
Yeah. But then when we had the sample, the hook, well then for a dope artist like Nicki, it's kind of easy.
Do you think that record would have, like, if it came out 2 years prior, would have actually been a hit?
Oh, for sure, it would not be a hit. For sure, I know. So just because it was not complete, and it's very hard. Like sometimes you have an idea and you're fighting with it, and yeah, this happens a lot. This happens. It's just like a lot of people that are starting making music. They feel like, oh, big producers, they have like a formula, like mathematics, but it's not really true. You have experience, but the magic of what makes it special is just impossible to replicate. Like, it sometimes it happens and you don't know why. It just happens.
Do you need a superstar vocalist to have a hit song?
No, not at all. And actually, we were talking, for example, like when we did Titanium with Sia, she was not famous, but she's a genius, and she sounds like crazy.
And she's somebody who will sit on, like, she doesn't release an album until every song feels like a single, and she'll sit on songs for years before she releases them. And they end up being the biggest hits of, like, whenever they're released, they shape culture of that moment and beyond.
No, she's incredible. And it's funny, like when we met for that, when we worked on Titanium, we were working, me as a producer, because sometimes I produce for other artists, and I was being a producer and she was being a songwriter, and we were just writing for someone else. And I'm like, okay, not only the song is too good, there's no way I'm giving it away. I want to keep it for myself, but also I need you to be on this record because no one is going to sing it like you. And she's like, no, I don't want to be an artist anymore. I don't like this life. I want to be home and with my dogs and be happy and write songs for other people. And I had to beg her, and she ended up doing it at the condition of not doing any promotion, any interviews,
And it starts
any live.
And what does that give birth to? The wig.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sia.
Exactly.
That's. I'm gonna ask you like a deep question, but I think it's the right time as we're talking about just these two examples, but there has to be dozens of others of artists that, like, moments like that have literally sparked a whole new path for their career. Like, do you think about how you want to be remembered?
Yes, I do. Of course, of course, of course. I think I don't see it like that because this happens for me too. Like this guy that sampled me to put it on TikTok.
Totally.
This guy changed my life. You know, so I do like this is how it is. You know, it's just like that's why I think we all need to be humble because I'm telling you, there's no absolute formula, absolute genius. We all need each other to win. You know, and like some random person from might be a kid. I have no idea. Sampled a part of my set and turned this into a global hit. So of course, sometimes I help artists, but they also help me back at the same time. And, in the example of Sia, I'm like so grateful to her because she became like the biggest star on the planet and she would always be here for me every time, like we made many songs after that. And she was really like incredibly loyal in an industry that is not always like that. So
I feel like loyalty is something that is a big part of what you do and how you lead.
Yes.
And I do think that like success, and what I'm getting is like leading with the best intention, but also being aware of greatness when it presents itself to you. And genius may not knock every day, but like when it does knock or it does show up, like you have to have the wherewithal and the ability to like let it in and nurture it.
No, absolutely. And like many times, if you would ask me like, what is it that you do as a producer when you work with artists? Honestly, most of the job, of course, you need to give them good chords, to write songs and inspire them. But really, it's about creating a vibe that make them feel good so that they can be the best of who they are. But they are doing the job. And, I think, like some producers, they're trying to force people into what they want. But like, it's more for me. I believe in the artist, and there's nothing I admire more than songwriters, and I'm just trying to let them shine. It's not really about me when we write. I'm trying to help if they need help, but that's all. I'm more like at the service. And this is my approach really. And I think when I look like at the longevity in my case, it's probably because I'm not really confident. I have zero ego. Like if someone is gonna bring a hi-hat that sounds better than mine, cool. I will share the song with them. I don't care. I just want to make the best possible song, and this is why I love working with like young producers, young songwriters, because anyone that's gonna bring something to the table, I take it. A lot of people that are bigger geniuses than me, it's also their own problem, because if you know that you're a genius, you think you don't need anyone. Me, I know I need people, and it's okay, and this is probably why I'm still here, because I don't see myself as that amazing. I
all knowing.
And like I promise you, like sometimes people are like, but why are you sharing your publishing with this guy? It doesn't make sense. I'm like, doesn't matter to me. I just want to make the best record,
That when your intentions are so rooted in that purity, like that's when greatness actually comes your way. And I do believe that the universal rules of the universe apply here. Like you put out what you want back.
Oh no, absolutely. I believe in this. You need to give to receive for sure.
Do you manifest or anything like that?
I'm so big on this. Absolutely. I really like. It's funny because I like a few years ago, my girlfriend gave me a book, and it was The Secret. And
of course,
I read the book and I'm like, this is me, this is my life. But I didn't I didn't know what I was doing, but really, like I always apply this like positivity, projecting what I want, acting like it's already happening.
Yes.
You know, all of this. I've always done this, absolutely, and I believe in just being good to the world, and the world is gonna be good to you.
Amen.
What did you see in Kid Cudi back in 2009 when you guys made Memories?
Oh yeah, that was so funny. So, you know, and again, this shows like, honestly, it's. I'm not trying to be humble, but all my hits happened by accident. so you know, I told you how I'm Good happened. You know, it's just a complete accident. Like this record would still be in my hard drive if it wasn't for this guy. So the person that put it on TikTok. So in the case of Kid Cudi, I just produced I Got a Feeling for the Black Eyed Peas, and so massive record, like one of the biggest records of history, and they invited me to be in the video. By the way, when I see the video, I'm like, oh my God, like the most ridiculous hairstyle ever in history, and and within the crowd that was dancing was Kid Cudi, and I'm like, you are Kid Cudi, right? He's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, I love your music so much. I made a beat on the plane from Paris to LA. It would be perfect for you. This is true, huh? He's like, really? Let's go to the studio tomorrow. Okay. We go to the studio. The beat was Memories. Here's the beat. Perfect. Okay, give me a mic. Kill the beat in like 1 hour. And I remember he was like, so how does it feel to see genius in action? I was like, oh yeah, you're the friend of Kanye West, right? so you know, but it was true. It was true. And you know, that's what it is with people like this. They would come with that not humble statement, but it's also true. So what do you want to say? You know. Amazing song. And it was really a revolution at the time because you know, having like a rap record with a up-tempo beat like this was completely different from anything.
Well, it changes the course of music.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, this is how we did. And it's funny because that's also a good, like a crazy story. So once again, complete accident. Like, you know, I was telling you, like, sexy bitch. I met Akon on stage. He's like, oh my God, Guetta, I love your music. We should do something one day. I'm like, you're an American. You're gonna tell me this, and I'm never gonna see you. I'm like, I'm booking the studio today. So we were in London. I'm booking the studio. And he's like, okay, I'll meet you at the studio. I'm like, no. I'm coming with you. And you know, seriously, that's a true story. He's like, what do you mean? Like, trust me, I'm going to be at the studio. No, I'll stay with you. Don't worry. And, you know, I'm going to the hotel and he was with like a girl. And I'm like, I'm quite famous already, you know? And he's like, okay, I'm going to the room 5 minutes. I'm waiting 3 hours. I know, Akon is a beast. He doesn't go 5 minutes. So you know, I'm still downstairs waiting, and you know, I'm paying the studio per hour, and I'm like, oh my God, motherfucker! So you know, he ended up coming down, and we do Sexy Bitch that day. So same accident with Kid Cudi. Like all my songs, honestly, they happen like that. And at the time, you know, I remember I made this beat. And I just signed Afrojack. He was like a kid, like a genius producer, and he's telling me like, "Oh my God, you beat it sounds terrible. This sound is so dirty. Like David, you can't release it like this." I'm like, I don't know, I like it, and you know, like we still speak about this because we're very very good friends, and you know, it's just a vibe, you know, and it kind of defined a style, you know, that to have the sound that was not so polished, you know. At the time it was like the trend was more to be like very polished and shiny sound, and this came like super rough, you know, but that gives the charm of the record too.
And also sets it apart from the other things that you had inspired that were already on the radio.
Exactly.
In that moment, do you want to be pushed by a collaborator in that way? Do you want somebody to say like, this is not right?
Oh no, I'm telling you, I told you before, I'm the most insecure person. Like when I go to the studio with an artist, I have anxiety, you know, because I always doubt myself, and so I'm always playing to my friends and what do you think, you know. It's just that because I've been doing this for so long and I have so many hits, only lately I'm starting to think, okay, maybe you're not that bad, you know. This cannot be an accident for, you know, like 20 years you keep doing this, you know.
The greatest act of all time.
So you know, but really, this is how I see myself, and I have this. You know, it's actually really famous. I have a friend that is like probably the most famous. Omar Sy is like a very famous. Oh, by the way, you should check out Lupin on Netflix.
Oh my God,
this guy,
he's so gifted,
okay,
so incredibly talented.
So this
I
guy.
recommend.
So one day we like we having dinner, and I'm telling him, I'm like, you know, I don't know why I feel like this, because every time I wake up, I think someone is gonna knock the door and tell me, this was a complete mistake. You are not supposed to be winning, and we're taking back everything you have. Really, I feel like this, and it's like, listen, every time I'm shooting a movie, I'm on set, and I'm thinking the director is gonna tell me, you suck, get the fuck out, and you know. I think I discovered that the imposter syndrome is something that is very common in artists.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know about it. So, but this is me. I'm always doubting myself. Always.
From the beginning, though?
Always. And I think, you know, probably this is also why I still win. Because I never feel like, okay, I'm the shit. This is the way it's done, you know? Yeah, I never feel like this.
So is that essentially what fuels the sounds of future rave?
Okay, so the sound of future rave, it was exactly what I was describing you. It was like, okay, I'm tired to play that sound. I need to create something that makes me excited, that makes me want to be on stage. And I did, together with my friend Morten, and you know, we just pushed it, and it became incredibly successful in the community. And then something that happened that was pretty incredible, this record, you know, Love Tonight, All I Need Is Love Tonight, you know, it's crazy because actually this is filmed. I'm preparing my set for my first show after COVID, that was in Miami, and DJ Mag is following me and is filming me preparing my set, and I'm making, I take this a cappella that I heard, it was like a underground obscure record that Salomon was playing, and I'm like, oh, I love this a cappella, but I can't play it the way it is, and I'm like creating it in front of the camera. That never happens, and I thought it was just a tool for me to play as a DJ, because this is what I do. I want to give a unique experience to people that come to see me play. So everything you hear, you can't hear anywhere else. So I'm creating this version, and then it was so good that, you know, I'm like, wow, the reaction is crazy. I sent it to the artist and the label, and then it became a very, very big hit. And that's also using that future rave sound, but this record made it a little more crossover, because, you know, for the first time it was with a big song, you know. So, but the way we started it was purely just for clubs and festivals. We never tried to be on the radio. We never tried to have commercial success. This was really something I was doing for my soul, to feel better as a DJ, to be excited to get on stage. Because I told you, this is what fuels my life. So, if I'm not going to believe in what I'm playing, I'm miserable.
Yeah, why be there?
Exactly. So Future Rave was only for us, for Morten and myself, about playing a sound that is exciting to us to play and that would take people by surprise. And then when I saw that it was working so, well, it became like a priority. But it was also really exciting to let go of the pressure of radio success.
Totally.
That was, honestly, it was like I was born again, because how can I describe it? Success is extremely addictive. It's like a drug. So when you have pop success, your life completely changes because when you perform, people look at you in a different way. So it's so much easier to have an amazing night because they're just gonna sing the song. It makes them happy.
They've heard it everywhere else already.
Exactly. It makes your life easier, and everyone invites you. You have access to the biggest artists in the world that are texting you every day because they want a piece of it. It's like an easier life. And I got so obsessed with having pop success when my music originally was not supposed to cross over. It happened by accident. So I went from this moment of, being a happy accident that my music is becoming, having global hits and being only about love and passion and it's just positive, to a negative emotion, which was the fear of falling, because when you're at the top of the mountain, the only place you can go is down. There's no other way. So then I honestly think that I started to be less interesting as an artist for a moment. And then at a point, I was like, I don't care about this anymore. I just want to be happy when I get on stage. And I created Future Rave with my friend Morten. And then this was a huge success. I also have another brand that is called Jack Bag that's doing house music.
I have so many, that's...
And, it was just like, I just want to have fun. I don't care anymore about being on the radio. And what's crazy with life is from the time I did this, I'm having huge radio hits again. Just because I'm not trying.
Is selling your catalog a part of this whole, kind of putting a period on what was and moving into what could be?
1,000. You're good, man. I can't believe this. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, first, it's like, okay, I don't need money anymore. So anything I'm going to do is just for the love.
Yeah, it's for you.
Because what is going to change, So that's like a good position to be in. Second, it's a way to have to almost close a chapter and start a new one. And the challenge of being look at myself as a freshman, okay, I'm starting a new catalog from zero.
How exciting is that, though?
It's amazing. Amazing. And it's crazy because since I sold my catalog, I already have 5 hits, or something like that.
But you needed that push. There's something there.
Exactly. I needed a push. That's like a way to challenge myself too, and I told you with this kind of rebirth of me, just going back to my foundations, because I think at some point I lost myself into pop a little bit. And I have a community. People are trusting me, following me because I've been DJ for so many years. And if I become a slave of pop music, then I'm no longer that okay, we trust him. And I started from zero again, went back to my roots, and I started with house music. So I created Jack Bag that was just making proper tech house and house beats. and again, not trying to be on the radio, and then Future Rave, and recreating a proper community around records that are just cool, edgy, and just killing it when you're a DJ. And it's probably the first time in my life that I'm having at the same time commercial success and underground success. It's kind of unheard of, to be honest, and it makes me really, really happy that finally I can be at this stage, because I think people don't notice, but every artist, we all want to be someone else, because of course we go for who we are, but we love music. So sometimes, I would listen to another DJ and be like, oh my God, he's so happy. He's so lucky. He's playing those beats that no one knows. And he's probably looking at me saying like, oh my God, this guy is so lucky. Everyone is singing along all the words, but this is normal, because it's like,
you want what you don't have.
Yeah, it's like when you're married, you look at a girl, you're, oh my God, this girl is so hot. If I was single, that's how it is, and at the end of the day, you always think it's greener outside, but it's not true. But today, I'm really in paradise. I have both. It's like I'm in I don't know. I find a wife that is also my lover. Yeah.
I mean, you've worked incredibly hard and you've paved a lot of culture to get here, truly. So it's beyond well deserved. And by the way, I can talk to you for hours. I know you have to go. Your publicist is pacing out there. You have a full day of press. Like, you have a full day of promo and press promoting a record. Do you enjoy it still today? That side of it?
Okay, I'm going to tell you honestly.
Yeah, you probably don't.
This is normally what I hate the most in my life. But once in a while, there's an interview like today that makes me love it.
Well,
really, I'm very honest, because I love music, and it's very rare that I can speak about music in my interviews, and this is what makes it difficult for me, because I'm not like so clownish, and sometimes it can make me feel a bit like I'm selling myself, and I don't like that. So when I do an interview like this, where I'm honest and it's deep and it's about what my life is, and not about, just making jokes and okay, we're gonna dress you like this, and
literally,
and that makes me happy. So thank you for that.
I thank you for saying that, and thank you for giving us your time and energy today. Because really, truly, like been looking forward to this day for a long time. Your music has been a big part of my life, and I love hearing your early stuff and being able to tell people I was on the radio to play this one, and then I still get a chance to play your songs on the radio today. Amazing. And I've been playing them for 15 years.
Well, thank you so much for that.
Well, it's to another 15, and then another 15, another 15 after that.
I just had one more question. Does it surprise you that DJ Meg still votes you number one every single year?
It's wonderful. Honestly, it's crazy. It's what I was telling you, because like no matter how successful I could be on the radio or on Spotify or any streaming service, what matters to me is DJing, my community. So when I feel love from the people that matter to me the most, it still means a lot, and it's interesting because some underground DJ, they're surprised because I would go see them like, wow, I'm so excited to meet you, and like, really, like they think I'm gonna be an asshole, thinking I'm bigger than but it's really not, because I'm passionate about this culture.
Yeah.
So for me, anything that is about that makes me at least as happy, as commercial success, and you were talking about Future Rave, I'm equally happy to have a global hit with I'm Good than to have success in, techno festival with Future Rave.
But now we're at a point where we have both.
Yeah.
David Guetta, everybody. Come on. You're
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you so much.